All right, let's bring in our special guest tonight, joining us from Oklahoma, Michigan, trial attorney Jamie White back with us. Jamie, great to see you. For me, I don't quite get the connection between our victim here, Susie Zhao, professional poker player returning home to Michigan, and this convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Morris, 60 years old, and this young woman. A couple of facts that have been reported locally out there is that allegedly his phone number is in her cell phone.
Correct.
What, if anything, does that mean, or could we draw from that, and could either side use it in the trial?
I think, Vinny, from day one, in my opinion, there has not been a lot of question that there was some relationship between these parties. To dispute that or deny that is really contradicting the evidence as we understand it to date. In light of what's been added that you've described, the real question is, does that relationship equate to proof beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed first-degree murder? That issue's been disputed legally and so on, but at least initially that was the people's theory, is that he committed premeditated first-degree murder, and whether the phone numbers were connected, whether they had some form of relationship, traditional or otherwise, the real question is, does that lead to first-degree murder? And I think that's where we are today.
You know, I think the defense is going to spend a lot of time putting Susie Zhao on trial here. Now, there's another report out there that allegedly the motel owner gave an interview and said that Susie Zhao had stayed in that hotel on the 9th, 10th, and 11th of July. And then on the 12th, Jeffrey Morris, the defendant here, checks into the hotel in the same room that Susie Zhao had been staying in. And I am trying to figure out what exactly is going on here, but I get the feeling that this is going to be part of what is going to be attempted to be exploited by the defense when they try to come up with some defense in this case.
There's no question. I hope the young woman's character is kept intact by the court to the extent that it's responsible and doesn't inflict on the rights of Mr. Morris. But, so what's going on here? Look, I've done more than 6,000 criminal cases in my previous life, and there's nothing unusual about hotels of this nature being rented out by one party and utilized by multiple parties over a period of time, or in effect becoming some sort of house for ill repute. And I'm not suggesting it has to be sexual. It could have been drug related. It could have been different individuals that didn't have a place to stay. But these flap houses, so to speak, whether it's a hotel room or somebody's home where their wife is gone for whatever reason, this is not unusual. And in fact, Vinny, what it does when you get these environments where the word gets out that there's a place that you can go and you can carry on without retribution, it invites other people in. So I think you're correct. I think we're going to hear from the defense sort of who is the B person that we haven't identified that would have had access to this young woman. And I still think this case rises and falls on forensic evidence. It does appear the forensic evidence is building against the defendant, no question about that. But ultimately, to the extent people had access to her that night, other than this defendant, is going to be that's going to be their Hail Mary.
Yeah. Who is at that hotel and what are they doing there? Jamie White, we don't have a ton of time tonight, but I appreciate your insight. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Vinny. Thank you.